everyone. This is Apostle Babe Linda James, your favorite apostate. It is Saturday night, May 5th. Let me make sure. No, May 3rd. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry about that. But yeah, I like to tell you every single week that I am your favorite apostate because it is my intention to brainwash you. I'm going to use my other device so that I can read comments. And I hope you've had a good week this week. Mine has been pretty good. Yesterday, there was a big deal that happened. And that is in Washington, the clergy penitent privilege has been something to where if a person confesses CSA to their pastor, their elder, their priest, they don't have to, the priest doesn't have to tell anybody. So that has now been changed to where elders and priests and pastors now have to report this. So that's been a 3-year-long battle that's been going on in Washington, and it got signed into law yesterday. So I'm very, very happy about that. If somebody reports it or confesses it, if somebody in a spiritual authority position, they do not have to keep it a secret. They're expected to report it, to be a mandatory reporter. So this is huge. And this is something the Organization of Jehovah's Witnesses have used in many situations to confirm that they're not obligated to tell anybody if somebody has confessed that they have abused a child. So that's a big deal. Hi, Beverly and Purple. Good to see you here. Good to see you here. I know a lot of apostates. You may have to win a cage match to determine who is my favorite. That's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I'm working on a new, I think it will be an exit video about Article 18 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, where that's under freedom of religion. That's the human right of freedom of religion. And within that human right, you have the right to change your religion or your belief. So you are entitled to change your belief system to maybe another belief system of a spiritual manner, or not to have one at all. Now, if anything changes as far as your spiritual belief system within the organization, that is declared apostate category, and you will be severely punished through being ostracized. And the fact that this organization is an organization that has taught their followers to self-isolate and only associate with Jehovah's Witnesses, if they are shunned or kicked out of the house, hello, Debbie, they won't have anybody else to talk to or to start a friendship with. And there's spiritual fear indoctrination or induction, which gives people phobias, which I've suffered from, and they're no fun. They are no fun at all. And so it's very hard to function outside of this isolated organization and into society at large, especially at first. You're still indoctrinated with everything you've from the organization, even if you've done some studies and decide to leave because of your conscience or whatever. It takes time in your healing journey to shed some of your beliefs that you've been trained to have. Purple asks, is it enforceable? Are there any penalties for a priest who fails to report? From what I understand, hi John, good to see you. John says, happy Saturday, everybody, or good happy Saturday evening. So when it comes to Catholics, if they report, they lose their position as a priest. And I have heard of a story where I don't think that was exactly the case with elders of Jehovah's Witnesses, but if they decided to back the victim up in court, they might have to step down as an elder. Oh, hi, Mia T. Good to see you. Yeah, to continue with what is familiar, even when you know it doesn't apply anymore. And that has to do with also with why we get triggered and stuff. Tonight I want to talk about agency. Whether you're in an abusive relationship, involved in a destructive, high-controlled, high-demand cult or group of people, a family, what you'll find is that being your authentic self is never okay. You are to be what they have decided your behavior should be. So you're never allowed to be your authentic self, okay? And what comes with that is truly a debilitating, at times, depression. When you can't be who you authentically are, but have to be a different personality in order to be approved of and loved. For instance, within this organization of Jehovah's Witnesses, what is taught is to put on the new personality. And that is the personality that the organization wants you to be. And why would you do that? To please Jehovah, right? And it's also taught that Jehovah's Witnesses are the happiest people out there, right? But what sucks is that as a true believer, being that you can't be who you truly are, and you have to be someone other than who you are, being who you truly are, you get reprimanded, you get admonished, you get very negative consequences. So to be your fake self, this new personality, is very hard to hold up and continue in. And it's not good for your psyche to be someone other than who you are, to be approved of by your partner, by your church, by your family. And that wears on you over time. And it's really, it doesn't make sense because you're being instructed by the leadership of the congregation who gets their directions from who's over them, presiding overseers, and who's over them, people within the headquarters of Jehovah's Witnesses, the governing body. So this is a hierarchy. The opposite of agency is a hierarchy. So we, within these groups, will be informed who we should be. And it's never who we truly are. Matter of fact, when we kind of buck the system and do things behind somebody's back to be who we authentically are, that's called a double life. Being who you authentically are is the double life. When in actuality, this organization is expecting you to be someone other than who you are, which is which is in fact the definition of a double life, not being your authentic self and being a different character, a different version, a fake version of yourself in other places. Let me see what we have going on here. Let's see here. Debbie says, being your authentic self is scary in a cult. Yes, it is. Because you get in trouble, okay? It is never positive reinforcement when you do this. You get positive reinforcement when you be the new personality or the personality that is approved of, okay? You often think that if others knew the real you, that you would no longer be cared about or loved. That's correct. Because being our authentic self, the consequences, hello, Sarah, the consequences of being who you authentically are were negative consequences. You were reprimanded. I was reprimanded. Okay? It wasn't allowed. Mia T says, you now have my undivided attention. She says, I'll stay in the chat, but I'm going to put you on the big screen. Okie dokie. That's cool. Yeah, that's very cool. So it's really, again, unhealthy for the psyche when you can't, when anytime, see, that's also associated with pursuing your self-interest, right? That's pretty much not allowed within Jehovah's Witnesses, the culture of Jehovah's Witnesses. You're not allowed to do any extracurricular activities when you're in school growing up, or even as an adult. If you want to join the local softball team in town and play softball with other people in town, that's a no-no, okay? That would be associating with people other than who Jehovah's Witnesses are. And that's taught as being a true negative. Everybody that's in the organization has been taught to us as being the safe ones. Everyone outside of the organization is under the influence of the devil. So if you're associating with those that are under the influence of the devil, you get in trouble for it from the leadership of this organization, or your spouse or a friend that wants to hold you accountable. It's just not okay. Okay, let's see here. Oh, you put it on TV. Everybody has me on TV, the big screen, yay. I always dreamed about being on the big screen. Hi, everybody. So silly, right? I'm so glad you guys are here. So let me give you a definition of agency. Agency means people can make choices and act in ways that shape their lives. Society's rules influence people, but people can also change those rules through their actions. Even in tough situations, people can show agency by making choices to resist or succeed. Let's see, what do people mean when they say agency? The ability to take action or to choose what action to take. Okay? The protest gave us a sense of agency, a sense of our own power to make a difference. This is a definition from 4 days ago. Okay. That makes sense because there's been these hands-off protests that have been happening lately. And what is meant by human agency? As elaborated below, human agency is defined as an individual's capacity to determine and make meaning from their environment through I'm getting stuck on that word. I think it's supposed to say positive consciousness and reflective and creative action. So these are all things where you make your own choices rather than being guided by someone outside of you to be the one to make your own choices. Okay. What does it mean for a person to have agency? In social science, agency is the capacity for individuals to have the power and resources to fulfill their potential. This is interesting because when we were in this religion of Jehovah's Witnesses, we were not allowed to do any any research outside of what the organization had given us. So this is talking about having the power and the resources to fulfill their potential. So some resources could have been available to us outside of the organization, but we didn't go there. You know what I mean? We just did not go there. Hi, 587. Good to see you. Good to see you, sweetheart. Mia T says, can we talk a little about the movie, The Children's Act? It's been a while, but maybe time to remind people what it taught us. I'm not familiar with the movie, The Children's Act. Acts. ACTS. The Children's Acts. Let me look that up. Movie, The Children's Act. Okay. I did see this movie. Okay, overview. In the midst of a marital crisis, a high court judge must decide if she should order a life-saving blood transfusion for a teenager with cancer, despite his family's refusal to accept medical treatment for religious reasons. Is that the one you're talking about, Mia? I am familiar with that one. I just didn't sound familiar. Hi, Dallas. Good to see you. Purple says, ever since I was a teenager, the library has been my place of worship. You know what? Things I've been looking into lately speak of the library as really being their place of peace, their place of, like one of their favorite places to go to. And for when you say that's your place of worship, the term worship is really talking about being in relationship with someone else, or if it's a spiritual thing, it's in relationship with God. You would worship God, but you're talking about the library. That's so cool, because it sounds like you were really able to learn there. So yeah, Mia T's right. It's been a while, but may be time to remind people what it taught us. So Mia, what would you say that it did teach us, this movie? Because there was quite a few things going on in this movie besides the person that the judge had to make a decision on that was considered a minor, and she had to choose whether or not he could receive a blood transfusion, even though it was against his family's beliefs. And this was a Jehovah's Witness kid, and who was in the family of a Jehovah's Witnesses. They do not receive blood transfusions. Library was my only sanctuary. Yeah, the place no one could bully me. That's very true. Yeah, that's very true. They don't accept that. You cannot be doing that kind of stuff in the library. And so, Mia T, can you make a comment about what this? Okay, let's see. Mia T says, helpful to know The treatment for leukemia is to restore the bone marrow, ability to produce all the blood. I have something in front of that word, the body needs. Leukemia, pieces that the body needs. Chemo treatment reduces and produces the immunities. This bone marrow thing used to not be allowed within this organization. I believe that has changed or partially changed. I'm not real clear. Chemo treatment reduces ability to produce the immunities. Hi, Shaq Composer. Good to see you. Yeah. So this is also something that my previous partner's father died of as well. But at that time, they had not came up with a way that could be a cure. So today, you can use bone marrow, which the bones have blood in them. And Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in taking their own blood out of their body and then restoring it back into the body. Shaq says, the library is my best friend since waking up from the watchtower. Mia T says, healthy blood and bone marrow is the only way to heal. Mia T. The arguments come up full swing in the movie. Okay. They are, I think, mirrored in cognitive dissonance. Yeah, that's tough. Bone marrow produces non-specialized something that can then become any type of, I believe that's blood tissue, blood cells, muscles. God, you're such a nerd. I so dig that about you, Purple. The stuff you say is just so like, you just geek out on this stuff and you share it here, and I freaking love it. Thank you. And you're right, Mia. Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when you have two different opposing belief systems in your head at the same time. That doesn't work well with the psyche. So one of them has to be gotten rid of, usually. Yeah. Yeah, I remember in the movie, the judge really valued her position as a judge. Hello.
Hi, how are you? Sorry. Hi, how are you? What are we talking about? I'm sorry, I'm just good.
Good. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind
I'm glad you're here.
is
We're talking about. Go ahead.
I need to
What's
see
on your
who's in
mind
the
is what?
comments. What are we talking about? We're talking about drama?
Not yet. I don't think so. Do we want it to get drama? To tell you the truth, I make a point of avoiding trauma at all costs. I mean, sometimes I'll get passionate about stuff, but I don't like to do drama just for the heck of being
And so
drunk.
how long you have been on YouTube for?
Just over a year, but before, meaning that's how long I've had this channel. And then before that, I was working, well, not working, volunteering with 6 Screens of the Watchtower. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No, what is that?
It's with Rick Farron. He has a platform for ex-Jehovah's Witnesses or even current Jehovah's Witnesses to listen to, and he has all these slots and has people fill in certain slots and talk about Jehovah's Witnesses.
And So, what your channel is about? I like to learn. Like, I have been on YouTube, but
Okay.
yeah,
So
I like to go on lots of panels.
right on, right on. So I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and the purpose of this channel is to be able to talk about that organization and be healing from it. And the way I like to um, encourage people to heal from this organization, which is a cult, is to teach some of the techniques and tactics that were used. Not so much their belief, because that falls under freedom of religion. They can believe however they believe their God to be, but the techniques and tactics that were used to get them to believe that is what I like to teach about, because they're the same
And
techniques and
so,
tactics.
can I tell you, what is the whole mistrust witnesses? I'm sorry, what is those people are?
Can you ask me
What
that
is
again?
that?
What is what?
Your religion. What is that? A Jehovah Witness. I don't know what
Jehovah's
those
Witness.
people
Oh, you haven't
are.
heard
Are
of them?
they? I
So
kind of.
they're a religion. You may have seen them going door to door, or they have a cart with literature in it that they might stand next to, or be sitting down in a bench nearby, and it has literature talking about their religion. And basically, they lure you in by uh, what they call the gospel, which is eventually you'll get to be in paradise on earth, not heaven, but paradise on earth. And that's very attractive, and you'll get to see your dead relatives. So that's
So
attractive
what
too.
does that mean? So it means like, is it bad, or it's like a lot of people told me it's you never open up a door for a homeless witnesses. I'm confused.
Jehovah's,
I'm sorry.
yeah. If you've heard, you should not open the door for Jehovah's Witnesses. Um, that makes sense to me because, for one thing, when I was a child growing up, I was taught how to be an excellent salesperson, and what I was doing was selling the religion. And
Is
I
that
saw
bad, or is it good?
it turned out to be bad for me, and I came to find that this organization, the way that they direct their followers, is not necessarily in the followers' best interest, but more so for the organization or the religion's best interest. But what they've done is they've told their followers that it's better to take advice from them because God's using them. Not any other church, not any other religion. God's only using them, and they should take instructions from them because it's the same as taking instructions from God. So they gaslit these
So,
potential.
you're saying those people are bad? Like, I'm confused.
I love Jehovah's Witnesses, and I don't see Jehovah's Witnesses as bad. I see them as, most of them are very good hearted. I see them as, unfortunately, they were deceived. And much like someone who's on drugs would do things that they would never do if they weren't on the drugs, Jehovah's Witnesses would probably never do the things that they do unless they were under the influence of the leadership of this organization called Jehovah's Witnesses. Is that making sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So
So why is a lot of people told me to never open up the door for them? I'm confused. Like, are they tricking me, or
I believe
sorry?
that the people that told you this was probably giving you a warning because they care about you. And they're hoping you don't get deceived by the message of the recruiting to become a Jehovah's Witness. Does that make sense?
Yes, and what about you? Like, is your relation is good for
Today,
the community today?
today I don't have a religion. Um, After I left Jehovah's Witnesses, which I grew up in it, and then I had a boyfriend from school, and my parents and the organization told me to get rid of my boyfriend, but I didn't want to. The problem was
Oh,
is he was not a Jehovah's Witness. It would have been okay if I was in a relationship with another Jehovah's Witness, and then there's a whole lot of stuff within that. But because he was not a Jehovah's Witness, I was supposed to break up with him, and I said no.
why? I'm
So I
confused
got
by that.
so I got kicked out of my home.
I'm
It's one
confused
of
by that.
it's one of the rules of the organization of Jehovah's Witnesses. The Jehovah's Witnesses is a very high control, high demand um, organization that micromanages your behavior, your information, your thoughts, and your emotions. So you don't get to be your authentic self. You have to be someone they've decided you're supposed to be, which is not who you truly are. So it's very bad for the psyche. So tonight I was
Is
talking
there
about agency.
is
Go ahead.
there a lot of a lot of them like tricking people? Is that what they're
That's
doing?
that's the thing. A genuine follower of Jehovah's Witnesses are themselves deceived. Okay. So when they go door to door or they're standing next to their carts and they're trying to recruit people, they believe that they're offering a very authentic gospel, the one from the Bible. They don't have the intentions of tricking somebody else. Their intention is to offer you the gospel, because scripture says that if you offer the gospel, everybody has to hear about it, and then the end will come, meaning Armageddon. Are you familiar with what Armageddon is? Do you have any kind of a spiritual background?
Kind of.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the background of that? I mean, it's really interesting. Never
Yeah.
heard of it.
Yeah, they're about less than 1% of the population of society at large, and they're a very self-isolating group. They're under the impression that everybody that's not a Jehovah's Witness is under the influence of the devil. And if you were ever a Jehovah's Witness and chose to leave, you're even worse than that, because you once knew the truth and chose to leave it, as if you've left God himself. So you're thought of as being a pretty evil person by
How is
the Jehovah's
it like?
Witnesses.
Can you? I didn't know if I didn't even know if you can do that. Leave it like
So
I didn't even know that. Wow,
yeah,
interesting.
yes, you can leave that religion if you want to. They have they would like you to, much like a job, you would resign. They would like you to um, write a letter of disassociating yourself if you were ever baptized. That's what.
Do they believe Jesus? Like,
Yes, but they believe that Jesus is Michael the archangel from the Bible. That's their belief system. So I don't waste time on this channel talking about how terrible I think that is, because that's part of
oh,
their belief system, and that falls under freedom of religion. So I don't waste time in that area. I talk about the techniques and tactics that they use to get someone to believe that Michael the Archangel is Jesus before he came to earth and then after he was resurrected. Are you familiar with the story of Jesus coming to earth for a while and spending like 33 years here on earth and then going back up to heaven? Are you familiar with that story?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so they believe his pre-existent life, he was Michael the Archangel, and then when he went back up to heaven, he again became Michael the Archangel. That's their belief. But yes, they believe in Jesus.
And And so, you left that? You left the Jehovah's Show Witnesses, or you are still in it still? Are you?
I left it. I left it. Um, at the time when they told me to break up with that person I met at school. Um, so I was about 19 when I got kicked out of my parents' home for not breaking up with this person. So within this group, this religion, you're only allowed to have relationships with other Jehovah's Witnesses, not anybody else. So I was going against some of those rules. Does that make sense? What is some of your
Yes.
what is some of your spiritual background? Do you have?
I am Christian. I believe in God. Yes, I do.
Okay. So does that give you comfort?
What do you mean? Like,
Are you at peace with that? Or are you ever bothered with some of the things that happen, say maybe at church or maybe from your Christian friends, or are you
no.
pretty much at peace when you go to church or hang out with your Christian friends? You're kind of okay with it all?
Yes, and I sing carry church songs on YouTube. I sing.
Oh, do
It
you?
makes me, yes.
That's cool. I became a Christian about 7 to 9 years after I left the organization. And today I'm a non believer. But during that time that I was a Christian, it it was I enjoyed it. Yeah,
You you you,
was a
you
crazy
are
Christian.
saying you're a non-believer? Then I'm confused. I'm sorry.
So I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness and did not want to remain a Jehovah's Witness and wanted to keep my boyfriend. That was against
Oh,
the rules of that religion, so I got kicked out. And then there was a period about 7 or 9 years where I ended up marrying the boy that I was supposed to break up with, had a child, okay, and we ended up getting separated. And I ended up um, becoming a believer in mainstream Christianity rather than the Christianity of Jehovah's Witnesses. So, mainstream Christianity, I was involved in that for a good amount of time. I did praise and worship, and I used to teach youth group and stuff, and I researched a lot about the doctrines because their doctrines Christianity is very different than what the Jehovah's Witnesses believe.
that
But
and
that's
that makes sense.
oh Mia, um,
Interesting. Me.
hold on just a second, sweetheart. What this is telling me, Mia T, is that they will need to connect their mic cam before I can add them to the stream. That might be done in the settings. So if you have a place where you can go to the settings, uh, you should be able to connect your mic
What?
so that I can add you. Sorry about that, Mia. Another person wanted to join us, and
Yes.
it wasn't allowing me to, so I was telling her why. And so I was a Christian for a while, and the way I looked at it was I grew up with a adopted spiritual father, and then I
What
went
is
looking
that?
for my authentic spiritual father, like finding out I was adopted, like that I had a fake father, like a stepdad. I thought of the Jehovah's Witness religion as being of a stepdad, and then when I went into mainstream Christianity, I felt like I uh, was able to be with my biological spiritual father. And then the more I've researched and things, I've come to a place where I don't believe in Christianity anymore as my main um, belief system. I value it. I value other people's opinion on Christianity. I think that the Bible has some good stories in it, but I don't think it's um, I don't think it's everything that I've been told it's cracked up to be. If that makes sense, yeah.
So is it true? Wait, what did somebody told you about Jesus? Like why you don't believe it anymore? Like it's just
So today, with the research that I've learned, um, the historical Jesus, not so much the biblical theological Jesus, but the historical Jesus. Back in those times, there was only like one or two people in the village or the town that could read or write, and they were called scribes, right? And the rest of the town was pretty much illiterate, just simple people, fishermen, things like that. And so when the Bible says that these different characters have written these certain books, that could be true, but from what I've learned historically at that time, it's highly unlikely that they had written the scriptures that the Bible says that they have. And historically, at that time, when someone did write out some writings that were considered holy, they would oftentimes use a different name other than their own that they thought of as being more popular, so that their writings would have more distribution, so that it would be passed around more. So, yeah, does that make sense?
kind of.
That's just the way I
So
see it. I'm not here to convince you that's the case at all. You know, keep believing the way you believe. If something rings true to you that I'm bringing up, great. If not, that's fine too. This isn't one of those like,
do you believe that Jesus died for our sins? I'm sorry. Just
I used to, yes, and that could be the case still. Um, but I I don't have that belief as much as I used to. So I would see myself as more of like agnostic. So it doesn't mean I don't believe that there is a God. I'm just not convinced that the God of the Bible is actually true.
and
Thank
so
you.
what happens when we passed away? I'm just
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happens. What do you think?
And why do people protest out there like this government? Like why is people like so mad? Is that okay to ask? I'm sorry.
Which people are you talking about that are mad?
Like these protesters are like going around doing these stuff and on YouTube and
Like lately?
filming and yes.
Lately, there has been a movement um,
Like
called Hands Off
what's
um,
that?
protests, but there's also other protests going on. But that's one I'm familiar with. That's happened in April, on April 5th and April 20th. Are those maybe
What
the
is
ones you're
it?
talking about?
What
Where
is hands
people,
off?
like, the message is hands off of my whatever they're deciding um, it could be. Um, and that's kind of based in politics. And are you familiar with Elon Musk
Yes.
and the position that Trump, our president, gave him to get rid of part of the government that he considered waste and not useful, and kind of slim things down? Not everybody's been happy with this. Okay,
No.
some people are very happy with that, and just believe he's going to town and handling things. And then there's other people who are like, who the hell is this guy and what the hell is he doing in areas that make them nervous, and they don't believe he has any business being there. So the people that don't believe he has any business being there or don't approve of some of Trump's decisions have been protesting on April 5th and April 20th. That has been going on.
And so do you know about those cars, Elon Musk cars, those
Yeah.
Lamborghinis? It's like, why people are complaining. I hear a lot of that around.
Well,
It's
some of the complaints are simply that when they see his car, it reminds them of him. And they don't want to be considered having any association with him because some people are displeased with him. That's my guess. Tell me about some of the other live platforms that you've been on.
the live platforms I've been on these days.
Yeah.
There is this crime, crime channel I have been
Crime?
on. Yes, have Sebastian. Do you know Sebastian? Do you heard of that
No.
story?
No. Is that the name of their channel? Is Sebastian the name of
No.
the channel? Okay.
No, Sebastian is a little kid he got not found, and his mom and his dad, something got him into his house, in his bedroom. They hear a thing in his bedroom or something.
So when you got on those live streams, what were they saying about it?
They were saying like those stuff, like, and of course I've been around these drama channels. Of course,
Oh,
it's just
that's why you were asking about drama when you first got on here. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I try to avoid drama the best I can.
and so those drama channels.
What are some of those names? Can you tell me some of those names?
Yeah, PDX. Oh my god. I don't want to get back to that.
Okay. You've kind of had your fill of that, huh?
And Mia said, I think Noelle is trolling you. How would I? Here we go again. Sorry, I'm. Okay.
That offended you, didn't it?
Yes.
I can understand that. That's her thoughts.
And then a lot of people are saying on YouTube, I am faking my disability. Yes, I do have a disability.
I do too. What is yours? Can I ask?
Mine is learning problems, a little bit of a ADHD, and high functioning. It's called like a cognitive disability and a talking problem, stuttering.
Oh, okay.
Yes. What about yours?
What about autism?
Autism? No, lots of people on YouTube saying, "Oh, do not let her up. She has all autism." Like they don't Yeah, I don't have autism. Like
Okay.
people go
Okay.
these. Okay, here's what's going on with me.
I was just guessing. I was just guessing.
these people go around and talk about me like, oh no, oh, Noelle is 14 and she goes on panels, she's weird, and she fakes her disability and she's a troll, and it's got to me. And these couple of days, I do yell at people, and people are deflecting. Like,
Yeah.
I call them out for it, and they're like, "No, no, no, I do not do." Yeah, you understand? Do you understand, or
Yes, I do. I just
okay?
wanted to say hi to KCA Randy. I'm glad you're here. Um, I just wanted to welcome you. Let's see.
So do you ever get like those people or no? Like I do live streams on my channel.
What is the name of your channel?
Oh, can I post it or like
You can tell me what it is.
Stinky N? Yeah, a lots of
Say that again.
people. Stinky N.
How do you spell that? Can you spell it for me?
Yes.
Thanks, John. Because what I'm hearing is stinky, as in smelling bad, and
Think
as in
En S S S. Okay, sorry, I gotta
no
stumble my
problem.
words.
That's fine.
STINKYN 5963. And I have another channel too, my backup channel.
Okay. Are you on? Yeah, I'm just kind of looking for you here.
It's with me and my boyfriend.
Oh, okay. What is your boyfriend's name?
Daryl. He's a nice one. He's a really nice boy.
Yeah. How did you meet Daryl?
Better, way better than my other ones. Yes, definitely.
Oh, good.
How did I meet him? Oh, one time he came into my work. I was working, and so apparently I saw him, and then I friended him on Facebook, and then we met at the park. That's yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That sounds like as good as way as anyone could meet anybody. That
Like
sounds pretty
how?
good.
And what about you? Do you have a boyfriend or like
I don't. I don't have a partner right now. I did for a while.
um and how old are you? These people are saying.
Oh, they're asking you how old you are?
Why?
Nicole, what do you talk about on your channel? Oh, how old are you,
Oh,
Nicole? So this is my friend Debbie
it's
asking the question.
Noel.
She and I are kind of in the same age realm. I'm
It's
61.
Noel and not Nicole.
Thank you for correcting me. Noel.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm dyslexic and ADD too. I have a bit of autism. I
Okay.
You've heard of the term neurovergent? Neurovergent?
No. What is
Neurovergent.
no no? What is that? I never
It's
heard of
kind of
it. That's in,
it's kind of like a special version of disability, kind of like autism with learning disabilities or something like that. That's what it is for me. So I'm dyslexic. I have learning disabilities, um, and I'm also autistic, which
How is it so dyslexia is like what? Dyslexia is
dyslexia. So when I looked at your name, I didn't see Noel as being the
oh
obvious word. I was calling you Nicole by simply
oh
glancing at it, and it just um, I came up with Nicole, and it wasn't the case. So yeah,
are
that's
you gonna subscribe to my channel or
I can't find it.
should I put it down in the chat and
Sure. Okay, my friend Purple, she said neurodivergent is a blanket term that just means our brains are wired differently from most people. Yes, that
that's
is so
that
true.
is mine right there.
Yes, that's you too. Yes. Um,
And
so
I do live streams.
okay, what do you
And
like to
here
talk about?
is I like to talk about on my live streams are how is your day going and like simple things and I like to um video hockey games and basketball games and sports things just like anything like yeah fun and going out yes
Okay,
in a
so
day
you
and dance videos and short videos and yeah
okay? Um, Tracy Harriet says hi, Noel,
hi
and
how are
she's
you
yeah, and my
and
daughter, which is
this
Valerie
is
Happy
my
Girl.
second account that's my
Say that.
second account.
Okay,
That's my
your second.
second account. Yes, right there. That's my first
Okay,
account is Stinky. Yes,
Stanky. Yes, as in
Stinky
YES.
N. Yes, and
Okay.
so a lots of people these few days asking me where's your disability at. I slow down my talking. I think before I speak, and I told them that, and they're like, yeah, oh yeah,
You know,
it's
Biden was or is still a stutterer, and
who
Biden, our previous president,
Biden is. Do he has that
yes,
stuttering? Yeah.
yes,
Wow, it's
yeah, he struggles
interesting.
with that. Yeah, sometimes it'll go away with some people, and others it'll
It
just stay with.
was it was really terrible a long time ago with mine, but now it's getting kind of there. I think before I speak.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I can tell. I can tell you've done a lot of work.
Thank you. And I sing.
I do too.
It's helps me.
What songs do you like to sing?
I like to sing oops.
Let's see. Are you frozen? Hmm. You look like you might be frozen. Um, Debbie Moore says, well, first off, Tracy says, great work, Noel. And Debbie says, stinky or SITNKY? Question mark. Nick. Noelle. I'm sure she wants to say the exact right one. Are you still frozen, Noelle? Okay, we lost her. Bummer. So, being that Noelle showed up, I just went with whatever she was wanting to talk about. I've never seen her before. She was saying she likes to join live streams, so I went with it. And thank you, everyone in the chat, for welcoming her. I appreciate that. KCA Randy said religion and politics often overlap. I agree. And Mia T said something about, I didn't know this was about a political discussion. I absolutely do get into political discussions now because the techniques and tactics that a cult will use, I actually see showing up within politics today. And Noelle is back.
I'm sorry, my phone has a time limit and my computer doesn't. I'm sorry about that. It's just
So if it has a time limit, are you...
No, my phone has my mom. Yes, I live with my mom and my dad, and they have my mom has a parent control because a long time ago it was bad.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But now there's no trouble now.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
And
so,
then
do you ever go out and do karaoke?
The songs I sing is any type of song. Like it just helps me with my stuttering. It really does.
Okay, Mia T, I'll see you next time.
Sorry.
And I'm going to get right back to you, Noelle. I'm reading some of the comments. Tracy said, so do I, Linda. Mind control and propaganda overlap in religion, cults, and politics. That is exactly how I'm seeing things today. And Tracy says, hi, John. Mia T says, or maybe invite me back for some honest discussion. As if this is not an honest discussion. But that's your opinion, and you get to go with it. And I'll see you on, how did you put it?
These are so nice people in here. I can tell.
And you know what? They are nice people. And so it's hard to talk to people and explain to them what it was like when we were involved in the cult that most of us were involved in, and it could be anything. Any kind of a group can turn into a cult depending on different techniques and tactics that are used or not used on you. But do you like to do karaoke?
I do. I love karaoke, and so I was at this special needs thing with my boyfriend, and I sang really good, and my mom and my dad was shocked. The whole place was shocked.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I've noticed exactly what you said.
I sing in public.
Is that right?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. How did it feel when you were singing? Were you nervous at all, or were you just kind of enjoying it?
Actually, I sing unwritten. Unwritten. Do you know that song?
Are you telling me the name of the song, Unwritten?
Yes, it's a very good song, and then the place was shocked, and a lot of people were coming. Oh my God, coming in, and
I am a karaoke junkie, but I have no car anymore, So I haven't been going out and doing karaoke, and I totally miss it. Matter of fact, I was entertaining the idea earlier tonight about um, doing karaoke on the show, like what it might sound like to the audience. Because every so often I'll be talking about something, and a certain word will be mentioned, and I think of a song that has the word in it, and I just break out in song.
That's
so, so they've heard me sing a little bit, and
what
some people have
what
found some of
what were you singing? What were you singing? Like what song?
the ones that I don't remember the ones that I sang when I was just miscellaneously talking on the show, but I like to sing kind of bluesy stuff, or like anything from Alanis Morissette to Ella Fitzgerald,
Oh,
just a wide variety of stuff. Yeah. So
and
is
yes.
your boyfriend does your boyfriend have disabilities too?
He has a little bit of a learning problem, but he's more of a quiet guy when you actually know him that
Okay.
yes that more. And so he had trauma way back then. And so he lives with his mom and his sisters.
So Noel,
Yes.
I'm reading the chat again, and
What's the
Purple
chat
says
thing?
the comments that are
What's
people
the
are saying
you're saying? Sorry.
in the comments. And Purple, I just call her Purple. Her whole name is Purple, rhymes with orange, but I usually just say Purple. And she said, looks like her channel is her and her boyfriend at social events.
Yes.
Does that sound about right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And Debbie Moore says, I saw you singing the other night on it was an older YouTube video.
Yes.
And
that was me.
that was a song that she heard me sing, um, gosh, maybe 5 years ago or something like that. So it wasn't recent. I haven't done a recent.
And so I do a track and I play track in basketball for Special Olympics. Special, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Names. Yes. You can look
I
at
think
my.
I think Special Olympics is awesome.
Have you ever played or no?
No, I'm not a sportsy kind of person. I don't care for sports, so I'm just kind of not even interested in it. But I do like that there is Special Olympics, and the activities that they'll do. I do think it's pretty awesome. I'm more of artsy fartsy and just real creative. So, but it sounds like you have that creative side, and you enjoy sports as well, and that's a pretty good balance.
And I play a video. I play a Fortnite a video game.
Okay. I have not gotten into gaming at all. I probably would become full on addicted. I think it might be bad for me.
Excuse me. This conversation clicked my mind. Yeah, we have. Yeah, I get along with every. It clicks right now. Sorry, it did. Me and
Yeah,
you
purple.
talking, it's clicking.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
Uh,
because of with I get along with a lot of people.
Good.
Not on YouTube, in real life. Yes, real
Right.
I do.
And what's yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Talk.
And since I haven't had a car, I haven't been out and about visiting friends or getting together with friends as much as I used to. So I
So,
miss that.
what happened to your car?
The car broke down, and I haven't. I paid to get it fixed, and the parts that were bought ended up getting from a junkyard or whatever.
Mm.
And my mechanic put it in. He put a lot of work into it, but it didn't work, and so I ended up losing that money.
Oh, there's a comment for me. Noelle, what events do you participate in? Oh, I in track, the javelin, the relay, and then the 100. I used to do the 200. I used to do that.
Okay. Are you taking any classes or anything?
What do you mean, like classes? Like I graduated already from 2019. Yes, 2019.
Okay.
I graduated.
Was that from high school?
Yes.
Okay. I meant like maybe community college or
No,
any other
it's
any other
hard for
kind
me.
of yeah.
Soon I am going into a day program soon.
Okay. You know what I found out when I went to a local college, a local community college, is those of us with disabilities.
Really?
There's a section there that is for those of us with disabilities. Like I have my learning disabilities, such as dyslexia, and um, it's just hard for me to do academic things. So there's a place there where I can do some of the work, and they also make it to where if I take a test, I get more time to take the test.
That's cool.
And I was surprised that they even had that there. So
So college is for that? Wow. Didn't
I
even
didn't know that they had that at that local community college, which is different from like a uni. Well, I don't really know how it all works after after high school. You know,
How did you
I
like
was
it? How is it hard for you or college
it
is
was a little bit hard, but I really enjoyed it. So I took some psychology. I took a jewelry making class.
oh
I
that's
took I took a class that would teach me how to sing in front of an audience and how to be a good audience. So that was surprising to find out not only how to treat an audience and how to perform well to an audience, but also to be a good audience. It was pretty cool.
was pretty
And then the
what
class,
what did you learn from it? It's just interesting to me. It's
well,
interesting.
in psychology,
Yes.
um, I love psychology. So um, basically, when one of the main things I remember is if you get scared, like in the middle, like during your day, if something terrifies you, um, for instance, doesn't probably isn't going to happen, but for instance, if a bear chases you down the street, you're pretty much scared shitless, right?
Yes.
So that's traumatizing. You're getting chased by a bear. Later on that night, you're going to have something called a parasympathetic rebound. And what that means is you're going to be super exhausted because of the stage of panic that you were in.
Oh, that's
Okay? That's one of the things I remember very, very well. Now, that's helpful for me today while I'm healing from being in a cult because a cult likes to um, one of the ways that they take control of people or motivate people to behave in the manner that they want you to, they terrify you. And what develops is called a trauma bond. Even though it's horrible and you hate it, and there ends up being a bond. So that kind of helped me in my healing as to why I was always so exhausted, and a little bit about how my clinical depression has me so exhausted too, if that makes sense.
That really does make sense.
Okay.
So when a bear chase after you down the street, it's your like anxiety, or it's like
Your body wants, you ever notice when you get super scared you have to pee?
Yes.
Okay, that's your body going, holy shit, I need to run, and I need to run now. So your body wants to exit anything that's going to weigh you down for you to run. Like some people will have diarrhea, right?
Haunted houses, I do not get scared in there. I like enjoy those haunted houses.
See, I never go see a horror movie. I never like haunted house. I don't like to be startled, and I don't like to be scared, because that was my whole childhood, being terrified all the time.
Really? By what? Wow.
By the culture of that religion I grew up in, and the family I was involved in. That was my family of origin.
Oh.
What are you confused about?
I'm confused about your family part.
So, my family, like my parents,
Yes.
were deceived by this organization, and because they were deceived to believe that their own choices that they made were not the best choices, but the best choices were to follow what the organization instructed them to do, as far as life and as far as parenting. Unbeknownst to them, they were handing me these books to read that were like children's books.
Yeah.
But they had very dramatic pictures in them of death and destruction. And
okay, those books. Okay.
yes, and buildings falling down, and children going down these deep, like the earth would open up like a big old crack, and a kid would fall down with their tricycle. So I was looking at those very traumatic pictures at a very young age, and unbeknownst to my mom, who handed me the book, that was part of traumatizing me as a child. Usually in a church setting, you would be given a book that, maybe showed some Bible characters, but they're kind of round and soft looking, kind of cartoonish. But these pictures that I was looking at in this book was very realistic. Were very like
That's
the human
scary.
looked. Yeah. So because I was, and my parents didn't realize this because they too were being traumatized. Okay. It had me, that was my normal upbringing, is being terrified all the frickin' time. So today, going to a horror movie, like when I hear people saying, oh, I'd love to get scared, trust me, I don't relate to that at all. I get that they get enjoyment out of it, but that was like my whole childhood, being terrified all the time, because what was also going on in this group of Jehovah's Witnesses is they are what is considered a doomsday cult. And the definition of a doomsday cult is a group that does something to help bring about Armageddon. And Armageddon would be the doomsday. So if a group is doing things that help bring about Armageddon, that would be a doomsday cult. And in the case of Jehovah's Witnesses, there was a scripture we went by that was to preach the good news to all the inhabited earth, and then the end will come. So our purpose in life was to make sure everybody from the whole earth got to hear the gospel of Jehovah's Witnesses, which they actually call the good news, which is, listen, you're going to be able to see your dead relatives again on paradise earth under God's government. And it sounds wonderful. It's kind of different than mainstream Christianity, which kind of talks about heaven, but they more so talk about paradise on earth. So yeah.
Back to the chasing the bear stuff. It's really interesting that your body, I didn't even know that, like your body is like that way. Wow. It's interesting.
And sometimes when you get scared, you feel like you have to go number 2 super bad. Your body's trying to exit that to be less weight for you to haul off running. That's your body dismissing anything that could be extra weight. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Thank you, Purple. Not a problem. Hey, Ron Hubbard, how are you?
And so
in these illustrations,
and so when the people go to the bathrooms and in their peer self, is that okay, that's interesting.
You ever notice sometimes somebody will say maybe they're just like they might be waiting to do some public speaking or something, which is the most common phobia of most people in life is public speaking. So
yes,
you ever heard them say something like, God, I'm just so nervous, I keep having to go pee? It's the body. you're nervous and your body's trying to exit anything that's additional weight, even though the person that's going to give a speech is not going to be running from a bear. They're still experiencing that fight or flight mode.
Why is people are being super scared to talk out in public and saying in front of this? Yeah.
Well, you know what's interesting? I can tell this is not a fear of yours.
No,
Good for you. Good for you. And today I might not be this comfortable publicly speaking, but this religion I grew up in, every Thursday night they had something called Theocratic Ministry School. And we were taught how to go to a stranger's door and how to share the good news, basically how to recruit people. What we didn't know then, and most of us do know now, is we were being taught how to be great salespeople.
Great salespeople? What is that? It's
like a salesperson.
Yes.
So today I could probably sell vacuum cleaners and posters and from people that are strangers, and that would come very natural to me because my whole childhood I was taught to start a conversation with strangers. And then when I became a hairdresser as an adult,
wow, that's interesting.
As an adult, when I would get to meet new clients, I was not hesitant to start conversations with them and stuff like that, So it's actually, even though I don't care for the message that they called the good news, I do appreciate what I've learned. It's helped me in my adulthood.
I can really see that. How did you feel like talking about the strangers? How is it makes?
How did I feel about talking to strangers?
Yes. in real life, yes.
When I was in a hair salon, I didn't mind it. But when I was a kid, I was supposed to go door to door and try to recruit people. I didn't like doing that at all. It was very uncomfortable to me because it was an intrusion on someone's space. Okay. But as an adult, when someone comes into a salon or a barber shop, in their minds, they already know that somebody is going to be in their space. And when I start to do a haircut, I am in their space, right?
Yeah.
But I can't do that in line at, say, the market. I can't stand that close to somebody or put my fingers through their hair in line at the supermarket, right?
Yes.
That's inappropriate. That's socially unacceptable. But in the setting of being a hairdresser, it helped me a lot. Yeah.
So our conversation, it's, can you teach like that bear situation? I can't believe it. Oh,
Isn't it fascinating?
that's crazy.
And it's also like, have you heard of those stories where if a mother, if there's a kid under a car,
Yes.
a mother would get supernatural strength and lift up the side end of the car to get their baby out.
Yes.
That's not the usual strength they have on an everyday basis. but when that certain circumstance happens, historically there's been cases of mothers having supernatural strength to rescue their baby.
How
or
is
their
that
child.
possible?
That's what I think. I think it's the part of that whole fight or flight thing. See, fighting would be you're scared, but you're up for the fight. Or you're scared and you're going to run away. Fight or flight, which means taking off, right? You're going to flight.
Yes.
You're flying out of there. Or fight. You're nervous. Somebody's maybe has you in a situation where you're scared. Maybe they're going to be violent with you. So you kind of, even though you're not an abusive person that uses physical harm ordinarily, but if the situation comes up where you realize you might have to, you kind of rise to the occasion, and your nervousness will help you rise to the occasion.
And so, what about these scary movies when you're watching and there's something pops up? Is that the same way?
I don't watch them.
Okay.
Some people don't mind getting startled or getting scared. It's kind of like fun for them, and they'll laugh about it. They got startled, and it's kind of a good time for them. To me, it's just not. to me, it's not a good.
Have you had that situation before when you get nervous, scared, and have you had that?
I used to have panic attacks a lot, and you would think that when somebody has a panic attack, they'd kind of get that extra strength to them. But unfortunately for me, I ended up feeling very weak. And it doesn't give you strength. It almost makes you feel like you're going to pass out. And I hated not having control and feeling weak.
And then how does you not have these panic attacks anymore? How does you cope with it?
I went to therapy and learned some breathing techniques.
Oh.
I learned things I could do to distract me from the rise of anxiety I was feeling, which is not like you're anxious or a little nervous. It's full-blown panic out of nowhere, and it just hits you like that. So, first of all, This really sucks because for me, the panic of a panic attack would scare the crap out of me, and then I would panic because of the panic attack. It was this horrible spiral thing I went through. It wasn't like certain things made me panic, they would just show up out of nowhere. So, anyways, there was I forget what it's called, but it's where you a way of distracting myself was I would wear a rubber band on my wrist, and if I felt panicky, I would pull the rubber band and snap it, and that was actually a distracting technique for me to distract myself from the panic that I was experiencing. CBT maybe.
What?
It might be the technique might be called CBT. Let's see here. There's a few comments I'm going to read. Purple says, the end of the world, or the beginning. End, begin, same thing, big change. Agora, the dark crystal. Interesting. And then she says, most people are very afraid of being embarrassed in public because they are afraid no one will like them. And my daughter, which is Maui Happy Girl, said your body can also hold on to a bowel movement due to anxiety. I once had a conversation with someone that was toxic to me. Unconsciously, I didn't feel concerned, but my body had a reaction. Interesting. Purple says, that is an adrenaline surge, suppressing the pain response and telling the part of your brain you can't do that to shut up. And part of your brain, she says, it says you can't do that, shut up. Okay. Yeah. So people here are have learned about panic attacks, and some people have. It's a common thing to have panic attacks.
Can you pass away from it? Like,
no.
Oh.
No, I was taught that nobody's died from a panic attack.
Really?
Even though I feel like I'm going to die, nobody's died from a panic attack. Okay. And I'm laughing because it really feels like I was going to die. And that sucks.
Wow, that's interesting.
Have you ever experienced or know of anybody who's had a panic attack?
Oh my God. My ex-boyfriend. No, excuse me. He had seizures and he still does, and he blamed it on me. Like that's
Oh.
That's why he texted me when we were dating and saying I can't handle your personality. He was
Okay.
he was like that, and he really wanted to marry me.
Mm-hmm.
And it is hard to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And, the rejection was about him more so than about you. So remember that, okay? Because rejection, for the most part, is usually about the person doing the rejecting, whatever's going on with them. You know what I'm saying?
And so we were, he told me, do you know you will take care of my seizures, and I was shocked. I was frozen. I was pissed off at them that day, at the moment. I was just, yes, I'm sorry. It's
They
just,
can, yeah. Did you say he asked you about something about his seizures? I missed that. What was it you said?
yeah, he told me when we were dating, this is last year or a couple years ago. I don't know. I don't remember. So he told me, you will go in to take care of my seizures. I was shocked. I was froze. I was like, and he was crying. And he was like, oh. I was almost about to, go off of that moment, and I should have had break up with him at that day. I realized.
Are you saying that he said that you don't know how to handle his seizures? As if,
No, no.
okay,
He told me, um, do, he told me, you will have to handle my seizures, handle his seizures.
you
He
will have to
was,
handle his seizures. Okay.
I don't know how to do that. It's his. Okay,
Yes, that's
that's just a
that could,
manipulator. That's just, what is that? I'm sorry.
right. You'd have to get some education, and if you haven't had it yet, that would really feel overwhelming. That would feel very overwhelming.
He blamed it on my personality and my high functioning. He didn't even. Okay, need to stop.
Okay. So he actually blamed you for his seizures.
Yes, and
Do
my
you think,
personality. This is how I am in real life. I talk and talk and talk, and it gets crazy, and people doesn't. Yeah.
okay,
See how YouTube panels work for me. It's just,
that's funny. Um, as soon as you were saying you talk a lot, I was thinking about what I always put on my thumbnail is "Let's talk."
yes.
So of course you would show up here.
And so, do you understand, like these people in the in real life? It gets crazy. It's like, do you have that before in your lifetime, or no? Do you have that
Have I
situation?
had seizures? Is that
No,
what you're at?
no.
Oh,
Like, you talk a lot and you cannot stop, and words come in your head,
oh.
and just, yeah.
Um, I used to be like that more so than I am today. But yeah, I can talk away about all kinds of stuff. And on this channel, I usually start the show with maybe a subject. Like tonight, the subject was agency, and I was talking about what the word agency means. And I'll talk about a certain subject for a while, and then I open up for people to join me, like you've joined me here,
Yes. So I
talk
never
about
seen you.
what's
I
on
never
their mind.
seen you live ever in my life. How many are you gonna go? When do you actually go live? Some
Every Saturday night,
free Saturday night at what time? Or
So I'm in Southern California, so it's for 9 p.m. my time,
It is
Pacific Standard Time.
1:40.
Oh, it's 1:40. Are you on the East Coast?
It is the nighttime here. The nighttime.
What can I ask you what state you live in? Are you comfortable?
Ohio.
Ohio, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Have you ever actually heard of that before? Have you actually?
Ohio, yes.
It's a
A
really nice
way to
state.
go. Ohio. Yep.
Have you ever been? Have you ever visited here or like?
I think when I was a kid, my father drove us all from California to Michigan, and I believe we drove through Ohio, and I was
How
about five,
was it?
5 years
How
old.
was the long? California is far. Like how much?
How far away is California from Ohio?
So really far away. Far away.
It would be 35 hours if we just drove directly there.
So how
Uh,
is the long drive? Do you like sitting in the car? Like, are you nervous or like, are you?
I was about 5 years old at the time, and I don't remember much about it. I just remember being very little, and we went in my dad's truck, and me and my little sister all fit on the seat of the truck. My dad was driving, I was sitting next to him, my sister was sitting next to me, and then my mother was sitting next to my sister. We all fit across the truck seat, and um, we just drove there, And yeah, now that I'm looking at the map, it's like you are on the other side of the United States.
Wow.
Definitely, yeah. And so is like Purple. She's in Wisconsin. Michigan is kind of about as far as Ohio is
So
from Southern.
how did you like that? How did you like Michigan? How did you enjoy it? How did you?
Well, we went to go see my grandma Helen because she was diagnosed with cancer and she was going to be dying.
Can I tell? What kind of cancer? That's
I
personal.
don't remember. I don't remember, but it was the after we drove back home, the first time I ever saw my daddy cry
Wow.
was when he found out his mother died. And I remember being little, and I looked up at him and the tears came down his cheeks and
Wow.
I could see them. And I remember hugging him to try to give him comfort. And so he was, naturally mourning the death of his mother. And
Shoe, no, 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 no. The shoe, no. The shoe can tell that. Did you know?
yes, she did know.
No.
And I think
Did you know what was going on at the age of 5? Wow, that's interesting.
I believe I did, um, but it didn't. It wasn't a big deal to me at the age of 5. I remember that there was a box in the house that looked like it was filled with a lot of toys, and my grandma Helen also had this room that's like the living room or whatever, and nobody was allowed to go in there. And the furniture was like perfect and covered with plastic and stuff, but nobody was allowed to go to go in there. And that was the oddest thing to me. Like, why do you have a living room when nobody gets to live in it? But it was like a thing to her.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Can I? Is your? Okay.
Go ahead.
I try not to be asking too many questions because people people are like, it's too many questions. Why ask questions?
If I get uncomfortable with it, or if I'm done with you asking me questions, I'll let you know.
Yes,
I've
please.
I've learned how to do that. It's called setting boundaries, and I think you would respect it. But I'm good for now. Somebody in the comments, A. Ron Hubbard said, "This discussion brings the game 20 questions to a new level." Are you familiar with the game 20 questions?
Yes,
Isn't it
I love
funny?
the game.
That is too funny. It does, doesn't it? And this is what it looks like when we get to know somebody, which in actuality, um, within this cult, we did not learn how to make friends and have discussions like this because we had already made friends. If they're a Jehovah's Witness, they're our friend. If they're not a Jehovah's Witness, we're not supposed to be friends with them. So we didn't develop that whole beginning of a friendship thing and um, how it develops and whether people, whether we get along with people or not, um, how to tell if somebody's toxic or you get along well with them, stuff like that.
So, if you were in the cults right now, you would not be talking to me or
That's right. If I was still in that cult, I would view you, which you're not, okay? I would view you as being under the influence of the devil, which would make me want to not have anything to do with you because I would view you as dangerous. Dangerous to my faith, to my belief system. So that would make me not want to be friends with you. See how that
yes.
teaching does for, see how that works?
And so, that's interesting. And
I think it's very smart that you live with your parents.
yes,
I can tell you're an adult, you're not a teenager, but I think it's very wise that you are living with your parents. Um, in today's society, with it's it's not easy to be in a setting to where people can live by themselves that often. It's more financially um, better to have either roommates or live with your family members, you know. So
yes.
I think that's really wise, especially like, do you feel like your parents have your best interest in mind, or
What do you mean, like what, like in the best interest?
like, do you experience your parents as being loving and caring and
Yes.
will talk to you about certain things, even if like if they don't care for something you're doing, they'll talk to you and tell you why, or tell you
Yeah,
good job when you do something that you're successful in, stuff like that.
of course, yes.
That's wonderful. So when we were in the cult, um, any spare time that we had, we were supposed to spend time under this label called kingdom interests. So we were supposed to be doing things like studying um, the publications, which was written, things written from the organization. So we would be self indoctrinating in ourselves, right? And we also was supposed to go door to door, which, if you think about it, if you're telling somebody, if you're selling something, um, it's hard to sell something you don't believe in.
Excuse me, like why is these people go door to door and like nobody is answering the doors. It's just like I see them walking past my house and they don't show up to my house.
I'm
Sometimes
not
they
sure.
do.
I'm not sure why they don't show up at your house. Maybe, I'm just guessing. Maybe one of your parents told them you're not there, to not come back, or
Is that okay to say, or is that mean?
yes,
It's
no, that's is okay to say. That's setting a boundary that is just being very direct. It just means that they're not interested in the message that the Jehovah's Witness has to share, and that they don't want to have any more time hearing it. And that's okay to say that. If somebody kept coming to my door to sell me a newspaper that I don't care to read on a regular basis, after a couple of times, I'm going to tell them to please not return to sell me a newspaper that I don't care to read. That's okay to do.
okay. I'm
It's
just
not, you
making.
know what I'm saying? It's not mean. It's just being direct or assertive as opposed to aggressive and being a bully. That's not being a bully. It's being assertive.
My parents didn't tell me about really like that more. They don't. I My parents do not tell me about those whole bunch of witnesses that really
Yeah.
into it. Like why?
And that
Because
it's not a subject that many people are even interested in. But the fact that I spent time in one, and usually the people that show up in the chat or join me for this show have experience being in this culture as well. And because it turned out to be very traumatic, and it's very different than what most people experience in life, most people don't understand or can't relate to what our experiences were. So when we get together and talk about what we went through, it's very helpful in our healing. It's very, I can remember telling my previous partner, listen, when I was in this organization, it was like this, and that. And she would look at me
so
and go,
is
that's unfathomable.
it big or is it lit? Is it how many people?
There's about 8.5 million people
Wow.
over the whole earth. But again, it's that as far as all of the whole earth, it's about less than 1%.
And so, is those people are mean to you in that cult or nice? Is it like
For the most part, they're nice people. But if you leave that organization, sometimes people that are still in the organization, still in that religion, will kind of talk you down. They will talk down to you, somebody that's left, or talk condescending to them, because leaving God's organization is unthinkable. And leaving God's organization and is like going and joining the devil.
that's just
So some people will reprimand us. What the hell's wrong with you for leaving God and going and joining the devil? So it will upset some people, and some of them will want to reprimand us. And it could be our family. It could be
those okay. It's just those whole bunch of witnesses believing that the D word. I'm not gonna say it because I'm Christian. Is that
okay.
I'm confused by that. To believe in if you leave it, then you
I know it makes no sense, does it? But the way I was taught was everything inside of this organization is safe. Everything outside of it is not safe,
that doesn't make
because everything and everybody outside of this religion is under the influence of the devil. So when I left the true God and went outside of the organization, so they view it as me going and joining the devil.
It's crazy.
And people get upset with that, leaving God to join it's not in it's not that's not the case. But that's what they were trained and conditioned to believe is the case.
And
And
did you say something to them? Did you like, hey, this is not right. This is
usually they don't talk to us because they're instructed to not speak to us and to ostracize us and to shun us. And they call that discipline. They call that Jehovah God's loving provision. But the real reason is the leadership of this organization does not want a faithful follower to find out the shenanigans from someone who's left the organization, because that person who's left can tell them about the shenanigans and the deception that goes on in this group. So Debbie says, I used to sleep in the floor board in back of the car when we went anywhere. And nowadays, a kid would never be allowed to do that. That's funny. I can't believe I didn't die from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Excuse me.
Yes.
That is super crazy. Why would they?
It's unfathomable. It's very strange, and it's hard to make sense of. And what ends up happening to people that are in it is it becomes toxic, for their mental well-being after a while.
Do these people do this drama stuff, or like, is it like talk?
As in everyday drama, like
Yes. Do these people
talking crap about each other, or are you talking about do they do dramas like where people play different characters and you watch it?
No, drama where they talk about
Talk crap about you?
in that.
Yes. And it's usually from the leadership. We'll talk negatively about those who have left the organization.
And they talk about you. How did you find out? Like, how did they? I'm confused.
Well, they do what is called a smear campaign. So they smear our name and make us sound like we are going to not succeed out in the world, which a lot of times we don't even know how to succeed out in the world because we've never been out in the world, meaning outside of the religion, and tried to function in society at large. So as we're trying to function in society at large, it's not uncommon for us to just fall on our faces and not succeed, screw things up because we weren't equipped or taught how to go into adulthood. We were trained to be still very immature and not learn how to be socially appropriate within society at large. So we would do inappropriate things. We would speak inappropriately to people sometimes. I don't mean everything, but sometimes we did socially unacceptable things. And next thing you know, we're getting yelled at and we don't know why. Because our behavior was normal behavior within the cult, but outside in the real world, that behavior was not acceptable.
Are you really happy that you've left that cult, or are you like,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I really, really am. And I was thinking about this earlier today too. I was thinking about a concept that this religion teaches about the main. So we call the Church of Jehovah's Witnesses the organization. And then there's Jehovah, which is God the Father from the Bible, right? But the organization is also spoken of as mother. which is interesting. And you probably know this, within the Bible talks about the bride of Christ, right?
Yes.
And the bride of Christ within mainstream Christianity is considered the church, meaning people that go to church, or Christians that, from many different churches. They are considered the bride of Christ. The people, not necessarily the building, but the people who are Christians, such as yourself, right?
Yes.
It's a spiritual term. It doesn't mean y'all are going to get married, but they're called the bride, right? It's symbolic, right? But the organization says that the organization is mother. So I'm in my head going, how did the bride of Christ from the Bible turn into the mother? Does that mean Jehovah married the bride of Christ? Which doesn't make, see, this is called cognitive dissonance, having two different thought processes in your head at the same time. So there's the Father, Jehovah, he's our spiritual father, and then there's the organization, which they consider a government. That's what a theocracy is, a government ruled by God. So there's the mother organization, the Heavenly Father. But what the Bible actually says is that the bride, which is Christian people, are the bride of Christ, meaning Jesus, not Jehovah, but rather Jesus. So they change their doctrines ever so slightly.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So have you ever read the Bible before? Like, do you believe in the Bible?
Today, not so much, but I have read the Bible a lot. I used to have.
True? Lots of people on YouTube saying they liked the New Testimony, not the old one.
Oh, New Testament as opposed to the Old Testament of the Bible? Yeah.
I don't understand.
That's a very common thought process of Christians, right? They prefer the New Testament as opposed to the Old Testament, because the New Testament has this Jesus guy who's pretty cool and actually very loving, and then the Old Testament God is a bit different. The Old Testament God is kind of concerned with land on earth and ordering his people to kill different villages. It was very bloody and gory, and the Ark of the Covenant might fall over, and the person that wants to just catch it so it doesn't, that dude gets killed, and it's kind of just doesn't. It's a different realm than the Jesus of the New Testament, who showed up.
Why is a lot of people nowadays are making mean comments, making mean things about Jesus and like that, and
I can't talk for everybody. I don't want to make mean comments about Jesus. I no longer believe him to be as I no longer see Jesus as I used to, but I don't want to make fun of people that do believe in him. That just doesn't make sense to me. So that sounds like almost like bully behavior. Like people are being a bully to get you to change your belief system.
YouTube, I've seen a lot of people do that on YouTube. Hey, change your ways. Hey, like really, it's your opinion. It's not theirs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you know what? Your faith is something individually your own. Until you decide differently, remain the way you are, the way you believe. And that's important for anybody.
Yes, it is.
You know? this person named Shaq Composer said, "Kingdom interests." Oh, Linda, you nailed that phrase. I'm surprised how triggered I get from that phrase. This is funny because this is the kind of stuff.
So your name is Linda?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, Linda James. Yeah. Are you
And
familiar? Are you familiar with what agency is?
no, never heard of that ever in my life.
Okay. It sounds like you have a good amount of agency in your life. And the reason I'm saying this is because it doesn't seem like your life is as controlled or limited. It doesn't seem like your life is limited as my life was when I was in the cult. It seems like you've got a good amount of space to have your own thoughts, and um, you get to go and associate with people and
Yes.
gather with other people and make new friends and keep old friends, and go out and do things that are enjoyable. I People within a cult are usually very isolated from society at large, because the leadership doesn't want people that are in their cult to get information from people at large. So, like you said, YouTube, there's people on there that wants to talk you out of your belief, right? And wants,
And bullying me, and yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
and wants
see
to
it.
tell you that you should believe like them. You know what? You don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to. And I think that's pretty rude that they say these kinds of things to you. But you asked me why I don't, and then I shared that with you. But it doesn't sound like you have too many people in your life that want to bully you to change your thoughts on how you think today. And that's how.
What do
Do
you
you
mean by
think,
that? I'm sorry. That's
like, talk down to you, call you stupid? You're an idiot. You should think this way. You're
not
bad.
in Wheels life they do, and YouTube.
Right. Yeah. So people that are going to treat you like that, I hope you don't waste much time with them. Or I hope you don't take, well, and I hope you don't take their statements to heart.
Excuse
Because,
me. So there's this one channel, and she's like a paranormal channel. Like,
yeah,
no, no, she. Okay, here's the story. Can I tell you the story about me?
sure.
I'm sorry. I'm not causing any.
No, you're fine. We're just talking about different subjects, and you're bringing up one now about this lady who
This
talks about
lady, this lady,
paranormal stuff.
this lady is like a biggest troll on YouTube, and she tries to call people out, but it's but it's it's not gonna work. And one day, me and her was talking on the phone. We were used to be friends on YouTube, but
Hmm.
now she's really my biggest enemy on YouTube. Really, yeah, she is. And one day she called me, and one day she told me, "Hey, do you want to do this paranormal thing with me, and meet me at my place? We are used to be friends." And so I was thinking, I was like, this I was thinking to myself, I was shocked, and I hanged up the phone. And the next thing she told me, she made a fake number and told me, "Hi, this is her friend to trying to me send her money." Like,
Oh wow.
I just blocked her, and I heard bad things about her husband, a KKK,
Okay.
and all this stuff, and
It's good to hear that you consider the KKK as a bad thing.
bad thing.
I'm very glad
Yeah.
to hear that, actually.
Yes.
And to have somebody else or maybe
I
her,
blocked her. Her.
good for you.
And one day, it was a few days ago. One day, I called her out like big time for it, and she really told me, yes, I am a biggest troll, and I called her out about about the trying to sell me this money and this paranormal thing, and she didn't even say one word. She was on some other subjects, and yeah, I did. And she was like, "Oh no, really? You thought that she was you thought you thought that my husband is a KKK?" Like, yeah, she is deflecting stuff. Like, she does this to everybody. Oh,
Okay.
I'm
Good night, Debbie. So you've seen her talk this way to other people too.
yes.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
just the pattern going and going. Yes.
I'm glad to hear too that you pay attention to patterns, because that is very helpful in life, to catch on to patterns of different people's character or anything in life. That's pretty wise of you.
And and so and then a few days ago, I was on her friend's channel, and so she told me, what is the N word stand for? I was like, race. I was like, what? She told me that. What is the N word stand for? That's
Trying to get you to say the word, huh?
yes.
That's messed up.
It's crazy.
That is not very nice.
Yeah. That
Pretending
girl.
to be naive.
That lady has 100 subscribers. Like, it's like 2K or something, or 3. It's just.
And some people get a lot of subscribers because they get to watch drama happen. And some people are entertained by drama. And that might be something that she's doing. I don't know. I've never seen her channel. But do you feel like it's trauma?
You really do not want to watch her. She just deflects, and I know what she's trying to do, and she takes people to court. Like, what?
Oh, wow.
That's crazy. Like, it's just nonstop. Same routine. Yes, I can learn. Yeah.
Are you saying she takes people to court to sue them
Yes.
for
sue what they did on the pant? It's
okay. Fascinating.
It is like a flecting. she's trolling, and I don't want to get into more of this stuff. Calm myself
That makes
down.
sense. That makes sense. I don't blame you.
Once I talk about her going further, it makes me more
Anxious? Yeah,
like,
I hear you.
excuse me, she really, somebody has to take her. What is your opinions about that? I'm sorry, it's just.
Are you asking me what is my opinion about her? Or my opinion about what you've just talked about?
Yeah, like, it's just my
It
brain.
sounds like drama that I would like to avoid. So I think you're right. I wouldn't want to be going to this person's channel
I'm sorry to
because,
bring it up, but it's just like on my mind like every single day. Like, it's just that channel needs to be taken, or I'm sorry. Oh.
it's really bothering you, isn't it? How she's deceiving people.
And sh- one of her friends on the panel lied about me, where I was on the same panel with my boyfriend standing behind me, and I was saying the N word. Like,
Oh, you were accused of that, huh?
yes,
I'm
by
sorry to
her
hear.
friend
Sorry to hear that.
on the panel. Like, it
You
was
did,
not. I was singing by myself. Like, what?
yeah.
Talking
That's
about?
that's hard to hear somebody talk about me in a situation that is different than how I saw it, and they add things to the story to make me look even worse than it really was. Um,
Excuse me. I am trying to not cause drama in here, and it's felt like it's emotional or something. It's
I can tell it hurts you. That kind of stuff would hurt me too. And you know what happens when I see things like that, like different
every
situations?
everybody accuses me of on the YouTube, saying, "Oh, Noel caused drama. Noel caused drama, and I know she's autistic and won't let me up on the panels." Like, deflecting every single time these stories. Like, we
Yeah.
forget about it.
Yeah.
I am allowed on YouTube, and oh, here's another thing. They really want to take me off of YouTube so badly for the same stories that I heard a bunch of times. It's getting to me. I really go off of them like a few times, and they're just deflecting off me. Deflecting.
So what do you do when that happens with you? What are how do you behave after
I
they
behave. What is that? Can you please say it?
um what do you end up doing when that happens to you? When people
Like,
are saying,
after these after I get off the panel, I just play my game, Fortnite, and it did, yeah.
that kind of
I taught
calms you
my
down,
people, and these
distracts you?
straws too.
Hmm.
Oh, people are bullying about my straws. Like, they a lot of people were asking me what is that straw for? Like, what is it used for? And I told them it is like a steam. It's like, I don't know what that's called.
A stem?
Yeah, a stem.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so lots of people on YouTube wants to call my dad and saying what and deflecting what I did on YouTube. I was trying to stand up for myself. That's how people stand up for.
Yeah.
A lot of people wants to contact my dad so bad to get me off of YouTube, and I know what they're trying to do, get me off of the internet, YouTube. Take my channel down, and it's nonstop stories.
That's horrible.
And
That's not good.
and to threatening to call my dad, and so once I was on their panel, then the comments was saying, oh, your dad is coming down right now and turn off your internet. He was in bed. He was in bed that whole time. I was like, nope, not gonna happen. Not gonna fool me. I know what they're trying to do. They
But
are.
did that kind of scare you at first when they would say stuff like that? Good. You knew
I
better.
just know my brain knows what was going on. Yep,
Right.
I know. I know my dad is in bed, like. And so they were told me, go and get your dad. I want to talk to him. Like, no, why would you want to
Really?
talk to my? It's like nonstop stories. Like,
So they were acting like they wanted to tell on you, huh?
I wasn't even doing anything. I was just sitting there.
Right. But did it feel like that though? Did it feel like
Did it
they
feel
wanted, like as if they wanted to talk to your dad so they could tell on you, even though you saw yourself doing
No.
anything?
I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to take me off of YouTube, and I was saying to them, you are trying to take me off of YouTube, and like they're just deflecting. No, we are trying to help you, honey. Like, help me for what? I am myself, not them. Like, it's just.
Now, see, that's what agency is. You being yourself.
And they're trying to tell me to help me. I'm not their friend or something. I'm just like sitting there like I don't know what did I. Okay, that is just deflecting, is it or no? Is it?
I don't
I don't
know. I'm not sure because I haven't. I hear what you're saying and how you're describing it, but I'd have to see it, see it happening to have an opinion. But I do understand what you're saying.
But a lots of people nowadays on YouTube do not understand me. I cannot find a nice panel to be on. Like, I am trying to find these nice panels, and it's just hard. Like,
Yeah.
I found a nice panel. Yours and this list. This yours, I found I found 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 nice panels, or yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's a good amount actually. That where you
Excuse me.
feel welcome.
Excuse me.
Hmm.
A lots of people like wants me to like where they told me, where's your stutter at, where's your disability at. Like I told them I'm thinking in my head these words and they don't understand. What? No, you're really not special needs, and they really want me to get my stuttering out, but it's thinking. I'm thinking. This I go on these panels to like cope with my talking or just think about it. Like, yeah, it's just
Right.
yes.
It's almost like perfecting um, your talking. Uh, with more practice, you would be more at ease, is what I'm hearing. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
So so um they really want me to be off of YouTube,
Wow.
but it's oh, and then I was oh.
You were what?
Lots of grown men, as lots. There was this one channel, and his name is Dave25. Do you okay? Yeah,
Okay.
Dave. Oh my god. One time I thought, one time I went up there to talk, just talk. I was sitting right here, and so all you hear is this young boy on this panel, and this grown 63-year-old guy saying, can I see your you know what snatch? And my face was like, I
Wow.
got sexually assaulted on one panel. Like,
Yeah, that's
I have the screenshots. I have this screenshot. This guy was,
yeah, that's pretty ugly.
yes, a lots of people on YouTube is taking advantage of me. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get me in trouble. Oh my god.
So it sounds like you've kind of connected with a few people that are unhealthy for you, or maybe even toxic, I'm guessing. So if you could join panels that enjoy the same things you enjoy, or talk about some of the same things you like to talk about, um, that might be helpful, don't you think?
Yes.
Or like you might feel more appreciated or more relaxed, and not assaulted, or not disrespected. And you yourself, um, you can have do a live stream. I think you said earlier you don't do live streams, but
I
you do.
do. I do.
Okay, thank you for correcting.
I do live streams where not the StreamYard. I don't know how to do that exactly. The StreamYard live streams.
And do people make comments while
Oh
you
yeah,
do
we have
it?
a bunch of trolls sometimes, and yeah, stories. Yeah,
Do you do it through YouTube
YouTube.
Live?
Yes, yes, YouTube Live.
Okay.
So,
I need to try to do that because
how can I? So how can I do the StreamYard? Is anybody can join, or is that how does that work?
it's like you sign up for a subscription kind of thing um, for their software, which is a cloud based software, I think. And the last time I paid for it, it was about $400. So a
So how
year.
can I do that? Like,
You would Google StreamYard
yeah,
and
and then
then read up on it and decide whether that um, might be something you want to choose. And then there's YouTube videos that teach you, like tutorials that will teach you how to do different things on StreamYard. But I am looking for something that would let me go live and let me have a chat where people can chat, where it's not going to cost me something like $400 a year. Because I
so
don't think I'm going to sign up for it next year.
so can anybody can join your like live stream like this? Like
Yes,
how
yes. I mean, if they're decent. One time somebody showed up and asked a few questions, and the next thing you know, he started preaching real loudly.
what do you
And
mean?
it got,
What? That's just what the heck?
that sounds funny. I, I think it was the weirdest thing. He started like, have you ever heard people who preach like on the street
Yes.
or under big tents, like big tent revivals or what they called? And this guy just starts yelling and talking about God stuff. And I was like, oh,
That's
hell no.
probably a troll or something.
So the people in the chat, I have a few regulars that'll show up. I've given them a key and I said, somebody please block this mofo. Because I spent my whole childhood
How old
with
was
people
him? How
telling me.
old was he? How is it young or is it like a
He might have been about my age, maybe a few years younger or a few years older. But
how
I
many people join your live stream? Like how many people talk to you? Like a normal conversation? Like
sometimes it's maybe 10 people. Right now it looks like just a couple of people, and I'm fine with that because I could, you know, I could want like a whole ton more, but to me, I'm wanting this channel to grow kind of organically without me doing a shitload of, advertising and just pushing my platform. To me, I want people to be able to show up here and for things to come naturally to them, and to um, that are wanting to talk about cults and or learn about cults. And like some people might be involved in a political cult or a family cult or maybe just in an abusive relationship. The dynamics are the same. Uh, there's usually an abuser and a victim, and within all of these different groups, the abuser uses the same tactics and techniques to the victim. So some people, when they're not educated about those things, it's very easy to um, be deceived and fall for the lie or fall for the deception and get kind of caught up in it. And some people will leave a group that's or a partner that's very damaging to them, and then they'll go on in life and have another partner that's abusive, or join another group that's also a cult. Um, and they'll just do it over and over and over again because it's familiar to them. even though they get to a point where they're just like, I can't believe this is happening again. How did this happen?
Yeah.
And what I've come to learn is because it's familiar to us, it's what like it's an ordinary Tuesday for us. So even though we don't care for the way we get treated, we're also kind of attracted to that behavior because of past events where we were actually, I guess you could call it, groomed or conditioned or indoctrinated to function well in those groups that are actually abusive. So learning to set boundaries is helpful. Um, Learning your human rights are helpful. Learning your agency, where if you're involved in an abusive partner or a cult or a political cult, the main thing that the leaders want to do is get rid of your family of origin and replace themselves with that place where your family would normally be. That's if you had a healthy family. That's the main goal of a cult leader, is to take the place of your family.
Excuse me. There was something else about this incident, about this lady. That's so I was on a live stream yesterday with one of her friends, and so I got her back so good, and I was playing her stream and putting the stream up on the live stream, and her face was really pissed off, and she couldn't say anything. Her face was so pissed off.
Oh, wow. Wow.
My God, it's the funniest thing that I really... Oh my God. Her friend's stream got a strike 2 times. Like,
Oh, my goodness. So you got her back. Okay. Huh.
and so they were like complaining, like they were like, oh my God, my stream got taken down. Like, I was like, ha ha, your stream, ha ha, like, and they told me to shut up, and her face was like, this is the second time. This is her second friend stream got her second friend stream got a strike, and
Wow.
oh my God! And yesterday she actually opened up her mouth and saying, you little cunts. Like,
I've heard that word is almost like
I'm sorry.
the
I'm
normal
sorry to say
thing to say lately. It's almost like it's saying that's so cool. Not like it used to be considered.
Excuse me. I was sticking up for myself. She started this whole situation with some German lady and this, yeah. She started at first with me. I didn't do anything to her, just get her back. Where is get her back? And then her first friend stream was they were like complaining. Wow, that was inmates. Hello?
I can hear you. I'm going to read a little bit of the chat.
Okay, yes. Too.
Let's see here. Aaron Hubbard said, "My advice: if you stream only once a week and don't post regular videos, organic growth is nearly impossible." Thank you, Aaron Hubbard, for saying that. And Purple is saying something, I believe, some good information for you or anybody else listening. She says StreamYard now only offers a 14-day trial. After that, you have to pay either monthly or yearly. And yeah, and you know,
Excuse me. What it is? So did I do the right thing, like sticking up for myself? Like, it's crazy.
what do you think? Do you think
Yes.
what are your? Because it sounds like you got some satisfaction out of it. I would avoid them, or that's what I've chosen to do with the drama stuff. I have to remove myself from people that I consider toxic or drama, stuff like that, because I can get very caught up in the they screwed me over, so now I'm going to screw them over, and enjoy the process, and then I'm going to get hurt when they screw me over, and it's just not good for my psyche.
Excuse me.
You know.
And now, and that, excuse me. When people talk about the situations, it gets really emotional. It gets really like that feeling inside of my heart is like.
Yeah, I can tell. And at the same time, well, let me read a few comments here.
Please.
Purple says that Australians call people cunt like we would call someone buddy. And Aaron Hubbard said the C word for females has a male counterpart. It is actually used much more often for some reason. And they also said Streamlab or Streamlabs is free. So instead of StreamYard, Streamlabs is free. I don't know much about it, but thank you, 587 Maverick, for sharing that. That's something worth checking out. So if that's something you're interested in, you could Google Streamlabs. Think of the laboratory rather than StreamYard. Google it, read about it, see what you think, Oh, Happy Heretic showed up. Hello. Yeah, I don't want to spend that kind of money again in October. So I'm hoping to come up with an alternative something.
Excuse me, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you have any social media?
Yes. Do you?
Yes. How can we? Okay. Um,
This YouTube is also considered social media, which Aaron Hubbard just reminded me of.
I'm saying, how can I put this in not a weird way? How can I contact you? Excuse me?
Yes.
How can I contact? Um, how? Okay. How can I contact? I can't say it because it makes me nervous.
That makes sense. How can you get in touch with me or
Yes,
somebody else?
you.
I'll tell you something right now. I'm not a very good friend. I don't answer texts right away, and I miss quite a few calls, and I might answer you 3 to 5 days later if you leave me a message. That's how I am. So I'm just letting you know that ahead of time. And it has absolutely nothing to do with you, but that's the way I am. So you can email me at Linda James at no Linda James 1433 at gmail.com. And right now in this video we're at the 247 part. I'm time stamping it. So if you want to come back and look for that, I can
What
say
is
it
it?
again. Let's see here.
Wait, what is
Linda
that?
James. Linda James 1433 at gmail.com.
Why is this? Okay, there we go. And then, so you're not really like a texter much.
So I just put it on the bottom of the screen, my email address. Can you see that?
Do
So it's
lots of people email you or text you or just?
no. And I might I might look at my email tomorrow or I might look at it in a few days. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day. It says Linda James with 2 S's. No, I don't see 2 S's. 2 A's. 2 A's.
Wait.
Yeah, Linda D-A and then Jan. Is that what you're seeing, Happy Heretic?
I am.
Ratios. Wondering. Yes, 2 A's.
2 A's? They have 2 A's or 1 A?
That's what Happy Heretic is bringing up to me. That
That's not.
that's
Wait,
what
that's
you're
not it.
supposed to. Oh my God, you're so right. Thank you. The tracker that's going across should not have 2 A's in the area that says James. Thank you for telling me about that.
Wait, is there a E in it too?
Yes. Oh my God, it keeps adding things on accident. Dang it. Okay, so I'm going to try to put it across the stage again. Let's see if it doesn't. Okay, I think I got rid of that second A. Okay, good. Thank you. So my finger centered on the keyboard. That's what Purple asked. That's
I
too funny.
send you the email right now. I did.
Thank you.
Did you get it?
Through an email?
Yeah.
Probably.
Did you see it or?
Yes, thank you. Okay.
I
There we
just
go.
need to be careful that a lot of people say you should be careful, like putting out your email. Like, it's why? They can track where you live.
Regio says typos seem to creep into streams even with diligent checks. Thank you for saying that. I'm going to be closing up the stream in about 5 minutes or so. Is there something that you wanted to mention before I say goodnight to people?
Thank God I did let go of what I stress I got off my head. And
Cool.
thank you for chatting with me, and it means a lot. It's weekly. We actually clicked.
I think so too. Thank you. Hi,
Hi,
Robert.
Linda James. Hi, Linda
Robert,
James.
how are you?
All right, how are you?
Good.
This is-
I don't even know you.
I know, it's okay. Linda knows me. Yeah, Linda, we
Yes,
go way
she
back.
does.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I
Yeah.
tried calling you once and then I missed your call and then I've just let me tell you, Robert could tell you what a good friend I am as far as calling
She is
back, answering texts.
she's a wonderful friend.
Yes, she
With
is.
me, she is, I gotta say that, and when she's talking shit about me, I get upset, but she's always talking good shit. So, I appreciate that.
That's too funny.
Excuse me, Robert. So what's your channel is about? Like, can we? Okay. What's the details?
My channel?
Yes.
Oh, I don't have a channel. I come to this channel to see Linda because I don't get to see her that often. But when I
And
do,
are
when
you
I do
a
see her, it's
Christian,
wonderful.
or are you like, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to
Oh, what's the question again? I'm sorry.
see who you exactly. I don't. Are you a Christian? I'm sorry. We are talking
Am I a
about
Christian?
yeah cults.
Yes, I would say yes and yes.
We are talking about the cult thing.
I know. I
Interesting.
know. I
Interesting.
know about that. I'm
Robert's
just wondering. I'm just wondering when they're going to pay the piper.
Right, the
You
pipe.
know, for all their deeds that they've done to a lot of people, and a lot of people got abused, used, uh, taken advantage of, and I just want to see the same thing happen to them that's happening to the other group. They're going after them big time. There's lawyers all over the time. You hear them on the radio every day. Yeah, if
Mhm.
you were a member of the gosh, I can't
Whatever
think of
group.
it. Latter Day and Latter
Mhm.
Day Saints, maybe. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
It's
I can't remember.
yeah. Purple said
Excuse me.
Purple from the chat said it's too um, being too trusting on the internet can put you at risk. So she was just, putting that out there to remind us, which I think is good.
That is.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Goes the same for anything, pretty much. It's like everywhere these days. So you got to be careful with anything you do. You know, you never know who these people. You never. People seem more violent these days than they have in my entire life. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. There's
Excuse me. We did Ashley clips. We did. It's just.
Well, I'm
Noel.
not talking about you, but I'm talking about like society these days. It's not. It's just. It's really bad. Well, from what I can see, with what all the things that are going on. That's
I
another
did.
topic.
I didn't even talk politics much
Excuse me,
tonight.
Linda.
I'm sorry. Say that again. What?
Um, can you speak a different language? Like, can you speak like different languages?
I don't. I don't speak other languages. I only know how to speak English, and I admire people who can speak other languages. How about you? Do you speak other languages?
I know few of Turkish words. Um, what is C? Oh yeah, C. Yeah, ¿Cómo estás? And
Oh,
province.
poquito español,
Espanol, and yeah.
poquito. That means you know a little Spanish. So, Linda, see my hair?
Yes.
See the
Yes.
color? Yeah. So next time it's $50 for you.
Oh crap! I need to
I'll
eat.
give you cash to do my hair like this. Would that be
Okay.
nice? Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I had this done, not
Oh,
by
good.
you, of course, but I had it done, and I was
Right
like,
on.
okay, well, I'll have to talk to Linda about
I'm
it.
glad you're pleased with it. I'm glad. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I think so too.
Thank you. How are you doing these days, my doll?
Mm, I think he
I
likes
mean, I
you.
mean, well, of course I like her. She's my good friend.
You guys should date. And I'm sorry, you guys.
That's a
Always,
cool compliment.
yeah.
Thank you.
I always speak to her in an endearing way because I've known her for such a long time. We're good friends. So
I actually met Robert at a karaoke bar because he was
Really? Wow,
hosting karaoke.
it's
Yes.
interesting.
At a bar called Don Jose's. Yep.
And so,
Remember that.
is he a great singer? Is he a great karaoke singer?
Oh, he sings well, yeah. And he has a certain style all his own. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that compliment very much. And you as well.
Thank
You as
Thank
well,
you.
Faith, have a wonderful voice.
Noelle loves to sing as well.
Yes, I do love to sing. It helps me with my talking situation.
That's right. I gotta bring that karaoke system I have over.
Can we?
That would
Because
be
it's like I
rock-
said,
that would
it's
be rockin' awesome.
Can we sing
Yeah.
karaoke next Saturday, the 10th?
I don't know.
I
You
don't
don't have a
know.
microphone.
I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
going to experiment and see.
Right. All
Because
right.
all I can think of is using one of my devices and
Yep.
singing to background music, like a background video, where they have
Right.
videos on YouTube that are karaoke, and the
Yeah.
music comes
Yeah.
out
That's
of
what
the
I do.
speaker.
That's what I do.
I sing with or without a mic. I don't have a mic right now. And
Yep.
then that would make sure that the timing is right. And
Exactly.
then I'll just sing it and have fun with it.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll make that work for you. I'll make sure
Thank
you
you.
have something for that.
That would be awesome.
Because
I actually have a mic from forever ago, a Shure mic,
Yep.
SM57, I think.
Yep. That's right. I had
Thanks,
the
John.
SM. Remember, I had the SM58 and all the other ones. I miss my equipment. I really do.
Wow. Aaron Hubbard says, I cut my own hair for 10 years. You know
Oh
what?
man.
That's something to brag about.
Yeah.
I too.
No kidding.
But I'm a hairdresser. And so I'm going to start saying goodnight, and then I'm going to reach you through the phone, Robert.
Uh-huh.
The phone?
And yeah, I'm going to call Robert
Yay.
after
So,
this week.
do you actually text or no? Like,
Sometimes, yeah.
should we be in a group text or no? Is that weird? Okay. Nah, no.
Probably not.
Not yet.
So just, okay, not.
Not yet. Not at this time. Probably. Maybe in the future. Would be
So I will
fine.
communicate with you, Noel, sometime this week. And
I don't have your phone number. No.
right.
She'll send you an email.
I mean through email.
Email, yes.
Yeah.
Email, yes.
That's
Okay.
about
Myself, I need to be careful. My brain is like, do not mess this up.
You're fine. You're fine.
Trying to figure out this camera bit. It's I keep looking straight and then I'm looking to the side. I'm like,
Oh, that feels so weird, I know.
stop that. Stop that. Oh. Yeah. It's so wonderful to see you.
Thank you.
It's
good to
wonderful
see you.
as always, you know. I miss
I
you.
actually had my timer set for 2 days in a row. Call Robert. And I was rolling beads,
Yeah.
smiling,
Yep.
and then I set it for another hour later. Then I airheaded. Okay, my bad.
It's
This is
okay.
who I.
Hey, don't worry about it, Linda. Come on now.
Aaron
It's all
said,
good.
$20.
Aaron Hubbard said, "This is the most awkward Apostle Babe stream I personally witnessed." Isn't that the truth? If we're talking just going with whatever showed up, and
Right,
it was
right.
awkward, but I think it worked out kind of well, because
That's why I just showed up. I'm like, I'll wait till she says, I'm going off the air, and I'll go, boom.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so Noelle, I'm going to start saying goodnight, and
Yes.
we can be
So,
in touch through the email,
through
right?
email. Yes, first, please. Okay, yes, first.
Because that's all I'm comfortable doing right now.
Same with me.
Yeah, thank you for understanding.
Welcome. Yes.
So
welcome.
I just want to say thank you to John and Debbie and um, I'm thinking of everybody
You
that showed
smoking
up
vape?
tonight.
What is the kind of vape is that?
Oh, it is a refillable. It is a SMOK, SMOK.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Maverick,
refillable.
for showing up, and Regio and Happy Heretic. I know I'm missing people, and I am so sorry. Shaq showed up, and Shaq Composer. And thank you, everybody, for showing up tonight. I really, really appreciate it. Happy Maui Girl showed up, which is my daughter. And I think tomorrow's Mother's Day, right?
I think
So-
so.
If you end up celebrating tomorrow, or if you have a mother that you...
Is it Mother's Day tomorrow?
I believe so. Let's make sure.
And on Monday is Cinco de Mayo Day. Is
Yeah,
on-
Cinco de Mayo.
Right, Cinco de Mayo.
What is
Makes sense.
that means? That
Mexican Independence Day.
it means they celebrate their Mexican.
Yes, they celebrate here. Yes. All
Okay,
over
I'm
the
wrong.
world.
I'm wrong about Mother's Day. Tomorrow is the
Okay.
4th of May, and it is not
May the
Mother's Day.
4th is Star Wars Day tomorrow.
That's right. May the 4th be with you. The 4th be with you. You're right.
Yes.
But on the
Fourth.
11th of May will be Mother's Day.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I would say
So-
I'm a mother, but my friends call me MF.
Hey, mama, with the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna
Gonna
make you groove.
groove.
How do you know that song?
Because we were raised on it.
I wasn't, but it's a
I was.
old school Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Gotta love
We
it.
had people come in and sing it, so we heard it.
And thank you for showing up, Noelle. It was
You're
very good to meet you.
welcome. Like it's just
Very good to meet you.
it's just I have been going through stress these couple days of YouTube and just
I get stressed out too. And sometimes I have to call a friend and be like, is it this, or am I just a snowflake, or what the hell? What the hell? Kind of like talk me down, okay? So, or sometimes I just gotta cry about something, or
yesterday.
Well, when you need
Yesterday I was in my bed crying to myself, like crying,
No.
and God was there. God was
good.
right there God was next to my bedside, and just hearing him, like, it's gonna be okay, calm down, everything's gonna be okay.
There you go.
Like, it's just
right on.
wow.
It's a good
I
thing.
love the fact
Hey,
that
Linda,
comfort.
when
Yes.
the next time I see you, Linda, I'm gonna give you mad hugs.
yay. That sounds
You guys should date. I'm sorry, you should.
No, we love each other too much for that. So
Okay, just
But thanks for trying to be Cupid right now, and
yeah, I appreciate that.
that's kind of cute.
Yeah, it was definitely.
So again, I'm going to start saying goodnight, and
Yes.
I thank everybody that showed up tonight, and whoever listens to this in the future, thank you for showing up. If you appreciated tonight, share and like my video.
love
That's going to
live
help
streaming.
with the algorithm. And I will see you next weekend.
Yay. You're going to be
Yay.
calling? Promise?
Yes,
I'm just kidding.
that's
All
correct.
right.
It is in
All
my
right.
mind.
All right.
And
Yay.
good night, everyone.
I never